Smothered pork chops, rice, and gravy. It doesn't get much better than that. This is Cooking with Sylv Mack. Hey everybody, welcome to Cooking with Sylv Mack, and today we're going to make one of my brother's favorite dishes, pork chops, rice, and gravy. I can't even tell you how much my big brother Everett loves this. When he comes to visit, I have to make it for him, and he eats it every day that he's here, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So now I'm going to show you how to make it. It really is simple, but you know what you got to do first. You better grab that glass of wine and let's get to cooking, y'all. Hey everybody, thank you again for tuning in to my channel, Cooking with Sylv Mack. I certainly appreciate it. And if you haven't had a chance to do so yet, please make sure to subscribe to my channel. You can press the button. It's either on that side or on this side. Either way, subscribe please and leave me some comments and tell me how you feel about my food and my videos. So, I'm gonna make some pork chops, rice, and gravy. So let's talk about the seasoning and what I'm gonna season it with. So I've got 6 nice thick pork chops. This is what they look like. And I've already seasoned them up, but I'm gonna show you what I've seasoned them with. Now, I love my Blue Mountain Country oxtail seasoning, and that's actually what I use to season my pork chops with. It is fabulous. So I shake some of this on there. I also put just a little bit of the Blue Mountain Country hot curry powder. Just a little bit, just enough to make it a little oomph. I also put garlic powder on there. And then just some black pepper. And that's it for the seasoning. But if you don't have any of these, which is the Blue Country, then you can always just use like some Lowry seasoning salt. And then I also use some adobo. Now, I normally do use this, but I want to show you something else because instead of using this garlic and this adobo, which is fine to use, I'm actually going to try something new today because I just got these seasonings in, and these are from Atlanta. They're Black owned, and this is Southern Roots. One of them is called Blistering Garlic, and the other one is an adobo spice. So I thought I would try them out and see what they taste like. Then I also like to put in there 1 onion that's cut up and some shallots as well. I usually put garlic in there because I love garlic, but I'm going to use some of the garlic base and also some of the chicken stock base, and I'm going to combine that. So that's going to be a lot of garlic already with this garlic, so I'm not going to put it in this time. All right, so we're just going to brown the pork chops, and I've already browned 3 of them, and I put them in the microwave and sort of covered them up. Now I'm going to brown the other 3. Once we're done browning them though, we're going to finish them off in the oven, and we're going to braise them for about an hour, maybe an hour and a half. So you want to get your pan nice and hot. And I advise you to use, if you have a nice cast iron skillet, that works really well. I happen to have this wonderful, and I just love this pot, the Le Creuset braising pan. And it's good because it's nice and heavy, and it really maintains the heat, and it braises your meat perfectly. But if you don't have a Le Creuset, because I know that they are a little pricey, then use any pan that has a lid, because again, we're going to finish them off in the oven. If you don't want to finish them off in the oven, that's fine too. You can keep them on the stove. I just find that the oven seems to really cook them evenly. So I had seasoned one side of them. So now let's go on and season the other side. A little bit of curry. Got my oxtail seasoning that I'm going to put on there. And I've got the heat at about medium high, because again, you want to brown them rather quickly. I'm going to put the new seasoning on there, some of that garlic, a lot of the garlic, and some of the black pepper. So you don't want to cook them all the way through. They are, thick pork chops. And you just want to brown them because, again, we're going to put them in the oven and we're going to finish them off there and let them braise. So turn them over like so. And you can see it's got just a beautiful, nice brown color to it. So I'm going to go on and take these off. And now it's time to make the gravy. So now with the gravy, I'm going to probably put in just a little bit more olive oil. Not much. I would say in all, you probably want like maybe 2 tablespoons of olive oil in there. And now I'm going to go on and add the onions and the shallots. If you wanted to, you could add a little garlic or a lot of garlic, but the only reason why I'm not adding garlic is because I'm using these two, because y'all know how much I love this. So I'm using the Better Than Bouillon base, and one of them is the chicken Better Than Bouillon base, and the other one is the roasted garlic. So I had already put some of the garlic powder on there, and I just didn't want to overdo it with the garlic. But if you don't have any of those, then you can definitely put some garlic in there. So once you got that going, now to make the gravy, we want to put some flour in there. You probably put about, maybe like 2 tablespoons of flour. And you want to make sure that you stir and get all of the flour and get all of the oil onto the flour. It's going to look really dry at first, and you'll probably be like, is that enough? It is. So it's like making a little roux or so. And the good thing too is that you're getting all of those nice, beautiful little brown bits underneath. You don't want to have cold water. You want hot water to make your gravy with. And I ended up putting about a tablespoon of the roasted garlic in there and a tablespoon of the chicken. Sort of mixed it up into my quasi Coca-Cola measuring cup. And you want to add it in there and stir it. Make sure you get all the goodness out. And now you want to scrape and get those the bits at the bottom of the pan, because that's where the flavor is. And you see that this is thickening up a little bit, and it's going to continue to thick as it cooks down a little. You don't really need much more seasoning than that. You can taste it a little later to see if you need it, but you probably don't, because this is plenty salty. And now I'm just going to put the pork chops back in, because they're not done, obviously. Put them back into the pan. And this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna braise them. So when you braise them, you don't fully cover the meat. You only have enough in there so that when you put a nice heavy lid on top of it, that it sort of acts like a convection oven though, but with with moist heat, basically. So braising is cooking with moist heat. If you're roasting something, right, it's uncovered and you're using the heat in the oven, and that is dry heat. Once we cover it, then all of the moisture now is going to be trapped in the pot, and it's going to continue to cook your meat. And that's what sort of breaks down the collagen and the muscles and the fat and makes it really, really tender. As you can see, a lot of the pork chops, some of them are submerged, but most of them are not. So you want to cover it with a nice heavy lid, and then we're going to put it in the oven so that it can braise. So now I've got my oven set at 275 degrees because we're going to cook it what? Low and slow for maybe about an hour, hour and a half, and then we can check it and you'll taste the gravy to see if it needs any type of salt or pepper. It probably doesn't. And once it's done, I'll let you know. Okay, so the pork chops are now in the oven and they are braising. So while that's going on, I thought I would go on and start cooking my rice. I like to use Mahatma rice because it's a very simple recipe to me. It's basically a 2-to-1 ratio. So if you use 2 cups of water, 1 cup of rice, 3 cups of water, 1.5 cups of rice, 4 cups of water, 2 cups of rice. You get the picture. So since it's only my husband and myself, I've got 1 cup of rice and 2 cups of water. The water's boiling right now, and I've added a little bit of salt and pepper. I rinsed off my rice. I like to do that to get some of that excess starch off. And now that it's boiling, now we just add the rice in. Now, a lot of people struggle with making rice. I'm not quite sure why, because to me it's really simple. You're gonna add it, right? Now you stir it a little bit. You wait for it to come back up to a boil. Now this is the important part. Once it comes back up to a rapid boil, then you want to turn it down and then you cover it. If you cover it before time, it's gonna boil over and you'll have a mess. So right now it looks like it's boiling a little bit. I want it to come to a rapid boil. Then I will turn it down to low, cover it, and let it cook for about 25 minutes until all of the water is absorbed. It's really that simple. I almost forgot. The other thing that I also like to add into my pork chop, into the gravy part of it, is bay leaves. So I'm just gonna put about 2 or 3 bay leaves in there. And close it back up. I think the bay leaves give it a nice little earthy flavor to it. And I'm sorry that I totally forgot to tell y'all that, but don't forget the bay leaves. Add about 2 or 3 after you make the gravy. Oh, look how tender that. I mean, it just cut like butter. See that? Sweet like Jesus, I need a moment alone. Anyway, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, share with your friends, and leave me some comments. And let me know if y'all make the smothered pork chops, rice, and gravy. 'Cause baby! This will make you want to slap the whole generation before you.